when I was 13 years old in 2015, my hometown suffered from flooding in Mexico. And that was a moment that showed me that the climate crisis was not happening in 50 years, that it was already happening. And most importantly, that I couldn't wait to grow up to do something about it. So when I moved to New York City, I started testifying, organizing, lobbying, and it got to the point where we were marching with 300,000 other people in the streets of New York and 7.4 million people around the world. Often people ask me why I do what I do. And the truth is that the day that I can rationalize why I care is the day that I will stop caring. Because for me, there is no rationale as to why we should care about the planet and each other. It's something that should come naturally, and it's something that we all have and that we must act upon. I kind of assumed that because all of these people were my friends, that I didn't have to educate them or prompt them or inspire them. But the truth is that solving the climate crisis starts with talking to those around you, and it starts with showing them that they're powerful. I think that the conversations that we had showed me that sometimes the people who are closest to you are sometimes also the people who you need to talk to the most.
I don't mind 1 degree Celsius warmer. That's fine by me. But again, at the personal level.
I actually feel like my actions are not that important to the climate movement as a whole.
I feel like a responsibility to do something, but like I said, like, what can I do on, like, little old me? I can literally do nothing.
It's not actually about saving the environment. It's just about like preserving the conditions where humans can live.
I lose hope in the sense that you try and change some stuff, but you see that it doesn't have a real impact. So, yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I don't feel I can actually help and like change the world from where I'm standing.
But if we are not meant to be here, or we are not meant to survive, we're not gonna survive, and that's it. We don't need to be selfish about that. We don't need to stay here forever.
Yeah, it's time and resources. Like, what can I do? Like, I can dedicate myself and be an activist, but like, how would I touch people? Like, I don't have the connections. I don't have the resources. I don't have I don't know people. I don't know CEOs. I don't know. I don't have like a direct line to the president, and
To adapt to it and just like make peace that it's happening and it's gonna happen wherever we're gonna live. Either in 50 years or in 100 years, it's gonna happen.
Well, my first response to that, I guess, it's that we are already at 1.2 degrees of warming from pre-industrial level. So we already are at a point where the Earth has warmed more than 1 degree, and you and me are fine, right?
Yep.
Nothing's wrong with us. But that is such a privileged view because we are in a safe space right now. But what about the people who are seeing crop failure? What about the people whose soil doesn't have nutrients anymore because it's too hot or doesn't have water anymore? Or I would say most people feel that way, and I think I felt that way as well. I think my experience was different in that I always thought that yes, I could do something about the issue, but I never thought I could do it now. It was always a thing of the future. When I get a job, I'm gonna be able to do something about it. Or when I'm able to get a degree and study sustainable development, then I'm gonna be able to care or like be in a position of power where I can actually do something about the issue.
Yeah.
Where's the purpose?
It is very, very optimistic, but I was just like, I'm more of a realist
person because like
I'm also a realist. I'm
like
an
you
optimist.
can no like you can change the world, but I don't feel like I can. Like on my like my scale, in my like I don't see it happen. I don't see it like happening while I'm doing it. You know, like I mean, you believe in yourself enough that you can, and it's what it takes. You know, you need to believe in yourself enough and fight for it. And I'm sure you're gonna do it, but I just don't feel it.
Take away our ability to adapt. Can you adapt to starvation? Can you adapt to water scarcity? Those are the things that we're facing.
I wouldn't say that we would adapt to these, but we would adapt to new sources of food, new sources of water.
And how sad would that be?
We would like quench our needs, but with like substitutes, for example.
How
And
sad would it be that we're
that's
just...
exactly how humans evolved.
Yeah, but why would we give... Like, I guess we're getting more philosophical here. How sad is it to throw the beautiful world that we have away because we know that we can survive instead of going through to a path where we can thrive?
Yeah, the thing is, how do you think that everyone should be involved in this? Like, you can not expect everyone to have the same responsibility. I do believe that there must be like someone like leading, and like you cannot expect everyone to have the same voice. And actually, like, I don't believe that everyone has the same voice in this regards. Like, I'm not like, how do you think that I can have a voice in my day-to-day life without having to like lead a whole movement against an institution such as PEN, for example?
You think like what you're doing, if you keep doing it till you're like 48, is it gonna
Yes,
change?
and let me tell you why. Because we're gonna sue governments, we're gonna sue companies.
You can't just sue government.
Oh, my friends are suing governments.
But
My friends are suing the United States government on their climate policy.
yeah, but who's gonna make who's gonna punish them for doing stuff like that?
Themselves, the Constitution, because we have the
it's-
right to, we have the right to happiness in this country.
I know, but it's like it's very idealistic.
And
it's
now-
just like
If you buy something that lasts 30 years,
Yeah, I totally agree.
that's awesome. And I think that those, like, we are going for quantity over quality.
Yeah, because
with
we
a
just
lot of
want
things.
the new look. We just want the
Yeah,
new print.
and we have to be
just
able to
want
break
the new
that.
colors.
Like this jacket, I'm never, ever, ever, ever gonna give away because I made it my own. I personalized it. It has personal meaning to me.
Mhm.
I cannot say that about all my clothes, but I can make all my clothes meaningful. And once you build that relationship with even small things, it becomes easier to say, I never need another jacket.
Yeah. Just start doing it.
I think that even if it's like a huge problem, if we start small, we can actually make a change. But it still feels overwhelming. It still feels overwhelming. But I guess if I have like enough people tell me that I can make a change, I guess I could.
You can. And you can also be the person who tells other people that they can. Fake it till you make it.
Is that your honest feeling right now?
Honestly, yeah, like maybe if I have 20 other Xiyes who tell me that you can, maybe I'll believe it.
I wrote to Pret, because I go to Pret every day, and I told them, are you gonna reduce the plastic packaging in your products? Because I don't need that little plastic hole to see what I'm gonna eat. And they said, oh yeah, we're sorry, we're working on that. Like, they see it, and they know. And the number one thing that politicians say when they don't support climate bills is, I don't get enough calls about it. And I don't know about you, but I've called a politician maybe twice. Never.
Never.
But what avenues do we have as people who use social media, people who are youth, people who are the main targets for companies as consumption? We can say, you are not doing what you should be doing for my generation, and make them feel guilty about it. Until we get to those positions of power where you are leading your own company and making sure that your energy is renewable, that your products are sustainable and low impact and circular, and that your workers are being paid enough. That conversation was probably the harshest one I've had in terms of climate. I don't think I've ever had so much of a different point of view with even climate deniers. And not to say that they're climate deniers, just to say that apathy, knowing but not doing anything about it, is the most dangerous thing. So if you're feeling the feelings that they're feeling and you're seeing the climate crisis as something that can't be solved, just know that this is really a fight for joy, a fight for what we can save, everything that is valuable, all of the experiences that we would lose if we don't preserve this beautiful world.